Well, I'm excited that we're actually engaging in something called a request for ideas with the business community, where they're coming in and expressing what they think can be done to reduce congestion along the I-66 corridor. And I guess why I'm excited about that is that now we actually have some money to maybe implement some of those really good ideas. But the simple fact is I-66 is a mess, and nothing we do is going to make it so that you can get from one end of my district to the other going 60 miles per hour. The things that we need to do, though, I think are threefold. First of all, we need to, I think, better enhance our mass transit opportunities, especially going out to Centerville, going out to Gainesville. Expanding Metro, that's a long way off. That takes a long time, it's expensive. But what is in our reach and what has been discussed is bus rapid transit. We do have room for something that can look and feel like it's part of Metro, that integrates with Metro, but it's going to be a lot less expensive, and I think it could be very, very effective and efficient. The other thing we need to do, we need to get rid of some of those bottlenecks. I-66 and 28 in particular is a place that we absolutely need to invest some infrastructure money to get that untangled. And then last but not least, something that we've been working on, I know VDOT's been working on it in an experimental stage, is we need to use technology better to make sure that we're enhancing our existing capacity. We were way behind the times in terms of being able to use technology to better signalize our lights in real time, to better alert people that there's traffic problems so they can use additional means of getting to work. And I think that's going to be a sound investment going forward. So I think we've got a lot of options on the table. And again, that's the reason why I voted for that bipartisan transportation plan, because I wanted to make sure that those ideas could actually be implemented into action.
A couple things. Over the last few years, we've implemented a number of telework initiatives to make it easier and to encourage people to telework. I think that's one thing, taking the people off the road, which I think is incredibly important. Dave mentioned the 2866 project, which is our top priority project in the Northern Virginia corridor. I mean, that thing backs up because we don't have the ramp there. What we need to do, that road backs up, and it impacts congestion from Fauquier to Arlington, all the way through, because it backs up both ways. And I think, Jim has worked on a number of things to make sure we focus on congestion mitigation, that the monies go, when they're spent, they don't go to $1 million bus stops. They don't go, which are shelters. They go to congestion mitigation projects to move people. With that being said, and acknowledging we need the money on the 28 and 66, one of the things, and it's a little west of here, I've also represent part of Prince William, Gainesville, and Haymarket. I've been debating respectfully with the governor and the secretary of transportation on this north-south corridor, which will go through the rural crescent of western Prince William. One of the things about it, it's a $1 billion project. So you've got money that I think for a new road that should go to projects like this 28 and 66 project. The other thing for all of you that live here in Virginia Run, western Fairfax, to think about, when they talk about building this north-south corridor, what they're also going to do is close 29 and 234 through the battlefield. And when we asked them, I asked the Secretary of Staff, the Deputy Secretary, I said, well, 29 runs parallel to 66. What happens when you traffic calm close 29? What happens to those 25,000 trips a day? He said, well, we'll just put them on 66. So if you don't think 66 is congested enough now, wait till they build the north-south corridor, that road I'm fighting, and they add another 25,000 cars a day. It'll be a traffic nightmare from Fauquier to Arlington. As I said, I joke around, I say that's the third battle of Manassas we're fighting right now. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities here working together, like I said. So, but I think, for all of our districts, a lot of our districts, this 2866, we've got to be focusing on that. That's the bottleneck from which everything else ripples out.
Okay. For the record, Delegate Hugo voted against the bipartisan transportation funding bill, the biggest opportunity we had to increase funding for improving transportation in Northern Virginia. He can tell you why, but he voted against it. It's on the record, voting against the members of his own party. And I'm glad it got passed. I'm tending to be in favor of something like the Bi-County Parkway. The route is not decided, it's not designed. The environmental impact statement study is not finished yet, so we don't know the details. It needs to be sensitive to the community needs and to the homeowners, and yet it can provide a relief for 66 and where I live, which traffic clogs Stone Road and even Pleasant Valley, Virginia Run area. So I'd like to see some more thinking about that. US 15 is an embarrassment for a US highway, a 2-lane country road from 234 to Leesburg, and then from Leesburg to Point of Rocks. We already have the right-of-way there. I don't know why funding hasn't been provided to simply put at least shoulders, even bike lanes. It could be made a safer highway. There's accidents there almost every day in some part of US 15. So while we're waiting for the proposal to be finalized for the parkway, Route 15 could be improved, so traffic could flow and relieve even 66, I think. So different things we need to look at. And one other thing on Metro, last 2 times I would try to use Metro to go to Washington, D.C., I couldn't find room in the garage. And one time it cost me $4 to get out. A little bit of technology could go a long way to let people have at least 15 minutes to explore the parking. And it wouldn't be very difficult with all the upgrading necessary with Metro to put in a little more power on the line so you could have longer trains and you could handle more people. So there's options, and more than I know, I'm sure, that could be explored and done.
Yeah, on a little more detail on I-66. There's 10 options that are under review right now in a formal way. Because it's an interstate highway, we can't make changes without cooperation of the federal government. So this is a joint review that's going on right now. I think more information on it on the DDOT website if you want to look that up. I actually listed them all in a mailer that I sent to constituents last week. So if you live in the 67th district, you might have seen that. If you don't, I'm happy to give you a copy.
I'd be happy to take it right away.
So, okay. Check my mailing list. In addition to the comment that Dave made on bus rapid transit, there is the rail, which is a longer-term thing, additional lanes. One that a lot of folks don't consider in this context, but I think really deserves consideration, is extension of the Virginia Railway Express out to Manassas and Haymarket, because there's traffic that comes from that far. If we can get them on the train and off the road, it's just going to make things better all the way in. Those are things under formal study. There's an 11th thing that's actually underway. A contract's been issued. You're going to start seeing changes out on 66 early in 14, and that's something called active traffic management. So you're going to see new signs, new overhead configurations where there will be sensors monitoring the speed of traffic on the road, and the shoulder lanes will open anytime they're needed to keep traffic moving. We're going to get rid of fixed hours. We're going to get rid of Monday through Friday. And so it's called active traffic management. It's funded. It's $34 million, and it's going to go from Gainesville to the Potomac River. So hopefully that will be something, particularly on the weekends and some of the strange hours that you can see congestion. That'll start. That should be up and running next year. It's going to be that quick. It doesn't require any new lanes, big construction. It's just electronics and overhead configuration. Already an idea that's working in other states, Interstate 5, out of the Portland, Oregon area and others. So it's a good idea that we're adopting here.
I have a question.